Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Hager number 281D. This is a residential style flush bolt. This is shown in the satin chrome 26D finish. And let's take a closer look at it now. I have one removed from the packaging. There it is. Nice clean finish from Hager. This is a corner style flush bolt, meaning that it occupies the upper or lower outside corner of the door. This would be certainly what you would see in a wood door application. Maybe a fiberglass door, a metal clad door with wood stiles, I suppose, as well, would be something you could see this with. And the 281D is part of several flush bolts that Hager offers. This, however, is one of the only, if not the only one, that's really intended for residential use. The balance of the product offering would be more specific for commercial doors or commercial steel doors, obviously commercial wood doors, where the flush bolts are substantially more robust units, but also units that are UL or listed for use listed and labeled, in fact, for use on fire doors. This would not be compliant with that at all. There is an occupancy type, or there is an application type, I should say, that will permit a manual flush bolt generally on an inactive door. When it's fire rated, this is not that flush bolt. So the 281D, how you're going to measure this type of flush bolt is that they're 6-inch tall and that they're 3/4 inch wide. Okay, that's the faceplate dimension. The top side or the bottom side, about 1.25 inches. Operating the unit, of course, is just sliding this handle up and down. Okay. Got a spring that's in here that will keep tension on the bolt, really working to prevent it from just naturally working its way down when it's in the top position. This is going to include a strike plate. Okay, very thin piece of material, about 1.11 inches or so by about 7/8 wide. There will also be a total of 4 screws, 2 for the strike and 2 for the flush bolt body itself. 1 screw here, 1 screw here. Let's switch to the screen view where we can take a look at the supporting documentation. Okay, so here is the flush bolt that we are here indeed looking at. Extended description information. Actually, first, before we get to that, let's check and see the other finishes that are available on this flush bolt, the Hager 281D. So US 10 satin bronze, US 10B oil rub bronze, US 15 satin nickel, US 15A antique nickel, US 19 black, a matte black, US 26 polished chrome, US 26D satin chrome, US 3 polished brass, US 4 satin brass, US 5 antique brass. So those are our finish options. So we're going to go back to the 26D or satin chrome. Slide bolt material, brass bronze faceplate with steel components. And yeah, I can confirm that the faceplate on this is indeed brass. So you could also refer to the finish rather than 26D as 626 because that's all made of brass there. Dimensional properties that we've gone over for the most part. Double action spring design provides automatic holding of bolt in projected or retracted position. There are 2 documents here I'd like to take a look at, the product catalog and the template. Let's look at the product catalog first. This is going to go over all things flush bolts and coordinator hardware related, and we'll quickly go through it. The 280X is a dust-proof strike, a very common piece of equipment to see when you are installing that flush bolt down into a floor and you want there to be a more finished, refined look to the preparation in the floor, meaning you're not going to simply install that standard strike into the floor because it has a large hole in it. This dust-proof strike features a spring-loaded cap that is always flush when the bolt is not projected into it, giving you the very clean appearance that would be appropriate for most applications. In fact, if it's into a floor, I would consider it dust-proof strike mandatory equipment and only use the stock strike when installing a flush bolt into the header. Speaking of flush bolts, there are others here that are all commercial in nature. This is a manual. The 282D is a manual style, a manual extension used for metal doors. The 283 is a wood door version of that. Then as we scroll through, there are variations on manual, automatic, constant latching bolts, as long as coordinating devices that follow down in here. Carry bar, coordinator, gravity coordinator. That's called a mounting bracket, gravity coordinator. One other piece of equipment that may apply to your application is you may want to look at the 296W. That is a petite set of flush bolts that will allow you to install those into an inactive door and are automatic. So this client has purchased the 281D, the manual flush bolt that we're talking about. In that instance, every time the active door is opened, the inactive door will stay closed and latched unless you reach up and reach down and retract those bolts. Now, you might say to yourself, okay, is there a better way to do that? Possibly, yes. The 296 may be the better way. You install these top and bottom, and every time that you pull the inactive door and hold it in the closed position and then close the active door, the inactive door is then secured to the header and to the floor. The active door is obviously latched to the inactive door. The advantage of this is you might want your doors to be fully open during normal hours, like daylight hours, and then you want the doors to be closed after hours. The application of that may be a master bedroom, so that when you start your day, you can open your inactive door, you can open your active door, then the inactive will automatically be unlatched, allowing you to quickly and easily push it open, not having to go through the extra 2 steps of retracting those bolts. Maybe a more elegant solution. At the end of the day, close your inactive door, bring the active behind it. Now both doors are closed and latched. So the 296 may be a better way. And it looks complicated to prep for these. It's not. A couple of rectangular mortises. I believe a 1-inch fly bit will make both of these preparations simple and straightforward. And I would encourage you to review that if saving the step of retracting the bolts is a better option for you. Then the template, that's going to be just a technical drawing of the item, and it will also serve as installation instructions. But from the perspective of a mortise, how you're going to prep the door, it is simple and straightforward. You're going to make a 5 1/8 inch long prep from the top or bottom of the door. That's going to be 25-30 seconds wide. Okay, just heavy on 3/4, and it's going to be 3/4 inch deep from the edge of the door. That will be your body prep. That will give you all of this. Then all you need to do is do this and do this. 1/8 of an inch thick. That's going to be obviously 3/4. It will obviously be 1 5/16 minus 3/4 inch. So 9/16 will be this length. And then of course your 6 inch, which they're saying 5 31/30 seconds, minus 5 1/8 will give you this preparation. So forgive me, 13/30 seconds maybe will be that preparation. 6 7/8 14. No, it won't be that. Maybe 27/30 seconds, I think is what I meant to say. Something in that range. It's 5 31/30 seconds to minus 5 1/8. So let's check that out. 5 plus 1 divided by 32 times 31 minus 5 1/8. Yeah, so 0.04375. So 13/30 seconds, 27/30 seconds is what that would be. 13/16 times 2 plus a 32nd. So 27/30 seconds would be that dimension. 4 here, 1/8 of an inch thick, and then of course 25-30 seconds wide. Very handy to have a caliper when you're doing this type of work. And that shows the rest of this. You know, there's no hole to drill down here. You just create that mortise, and it is pretty simple and straightforward. They give you the dimensions for the strike as well. And you'll duplicate this sort of preparation at both the top of the door and the bottom of the door, assuming you're installing them top and bottom. The only downside of a 281 bolt is the fact that you know, you've got from the top of the door to the center of this is going to be somewhere about 4 inch or so, or 4.5 inch. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's about 3 3/4 center line. So the point of the matter is, if this door is taller than 7 foot, it's going to be a challenge to be able to retract that bolt. If you have 8-foot doors, you're going to need to think about if this is what you want, when you may consider that 296W, because that's automatic. You don't have to reach up or reach down to get the bolt retracted, or thrown for that matter. So that may be what you want to consider. There's a link here below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Hager products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. And other encyclopedic documents are here, such as the Hager Keying Service Manual and the 2010 ADA Standards for Accessible Design. Let's finish up this video on camera. If you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please click subscribe as well, and even share the video with someone that you know. And if you have any questions for a future video, please send them our way and we will make every attempt to oblige. And thank you very much. If you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please click subscribe as well, and even share the video with someone that you know. And if you have any questions for a future video, please send them our way and we will make every attempt to oblige. And thank you very much.